This is Adventure for Life. This is Joel. We're on day 6 of the IDBDR. We're doing section 2 today. We're going from Warren to Lowman. Warren was a really unusual place. You pull in and you feel like you went back to the 1880s or something like that. Very nice restaurant they have at the Baum Shelter, B-A-U-M, which is apparently the original owner's last name. It's a family-owned business. The food was really good. The lady that runs it is a kind of a real dry, smart-mouthed, fun person, so that was interesting. The accommodations were very Spartan. Their cabins, and the cabins themselves were nice, but electrical and plumbing were afterthoughts, and so it's certainly not palatial accommodations, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. And got 177 miles today, I believe. Yesterday, again, in pretty much everybody's opinion, was the most enjoyable day, so that would be section 3. Had a lot of variety. Was not as difficult, just much more pleasurable of a ride. There was, you know, for us, there was a fair amount of traffic, but you know, it wasn't bad. So we're off on day 6. I think we got maybe 3/4 of a day tomorrow, and then maybe half a day on the last day. So that's the plan. So we got another 2 days, but not going to be very long days. So first view of the day. Wow, this is just probably 60 seconds after the last video clip, and we open up onto this beautiful spot here. Unfortunately, we're moving a little too fast for me to get a real good shot at it. Maybe we'll get it around one of these corners. I've got my vent open right now because it's cold, 53 degrees, and for whatever reason my visor's fogging up. There you go, got a decent shot of what's in the distance. Really beautiful. So got another clear angle here. Not from quite as high up, but still you get the pretty magnificent view there. Wow. Okay, another view from a little further down. Jason stopped to take a picture, so obviously he thinks it's nice. Yeah, so I didn't realize last night that Warren was so high up. Obviously, pretty good elevation, because we've been descending for some time, and we're still way up. And you can see the roads again that we're going to be using, some of the switchbacks and whatnot, you see. So here we are out in the middle of nowhere, and there's I assume you can see it down there, a house on the side of that hill. I guess we're getting lower because I see the roads and whatnot, but anyway, pretty remote, but pretty cool place to live. By the way, the dust has been way down today for whatever reason. It may be because we're going slower, because this is a really steep descent and sharp cliff drop off. Wow, if you can see down there, we're what, 300-400 feet up from that little community, I'll call it. We have, by the way, passed already a truck that was, well, an overlander truck, had a trailer on the back, and then another truck, which I assume it was some kind of resident from up here, but it may have been a tourist overlander, whatever. Okay, just came around the corner, and this was the view we got. Pretty spectacular. Looks like we're probably 100 feet, 150 feet up right now. This whole descent, which has been probably 30 minutes, has been steep, but the main thing is the cliffs have been, I mean, it's just been very, very sharp drop off. So we've been taking a little bit slower. I mean, it's first thing in the morning, and you're, I hate to say waking up, but you're, you know, kind of getting your juices going and whatnot, and be an easy time to make a mistake. So anyhow, a little flatter and straighter here, so I'm picking up the speed some. But anyway, I wanted to give you a look at that view I got back there. So this is the stream I was showing you. So we descended whatever that 150 feet in really just probably a minute or 2 minutes. Yellow Pine, it said Yellow Pine 49, and oh, that rhymes. Anyway, that's where we're headed. So we're going through Yellow Pine, so I don't know if we're going to be on back roads for 49 miles straight or not. That'd be kind of crazy, but Yellow Pine is where we're headed, on the way to Lowman. A little waterfall, actually a long, we'll call it a waterfall. It's the water obviously coming down the mountains, and you got a lot of white water there, so really pretty spot. Abrupt edge. I assume that means that it's a sharp drop off. They actually put concrete there, or block or something. I guess there was a lot of erosion and the road would go away. So anyway, nice bridge across it. Yeah. Supposedly, by the way, there's a water crossing today. We were told by some other guys that it was maybe wow. That is some slick silt right there. I don't know if you could tell, my back end got away from me for a second. Yeah, so water crossing. We were told it was maybe, you know, shin high. Of course, that's shin high while on the bike, so I'd say 2.5 feet maybe. The guys that rode through it, you know, got water in their boots and all that kind of thing. So again, supposedly that's a little bit later today. I'm not sure how far. That'll be an interesting change, because we hadn't really seen any water. Yeah, this is pretty silty, I would call it. You can see the tracks from the other guys. I think that's why there must have been some kind of moisture or something up here recently, because there's hardly any dust, and you can see the tracks from the other guys in front of me. So I'm trying to climb that little lip there. It's slick enough, I didn't want to climb it. A little point of interest. thought that was a whole truck. It actually is just something they were using as a trailer, and that hay looked pretty fresh, so I guess somebody's feeding horses up here or something. I don't know. Hey, this last section's been pretty rough. It's you can see the rocks here. It's been pretty rocky and not real steep, but it's a fairly steep ascent. But a little bit of rocks here, but there's been bigger sections of rocks down below. Now here's a little section here, but pretty rough. We're in a narrow and semi-rocky area. We're on an ascent again, not real steep. The rain really cooled things off last night and got rid of the dust, which is such a big deal because, I mean, we can follow as close as we want to now, and there's no dust, and so that is tremendous. We never saw or heard any rain at all where we were, but pretty quickly we noticed it on the trail. That first section this morning may have been the steepest drop-offs we've seen. You know, every time you think you've seen the steepest, then something else comes along and you don't really know if it is actually steeper or not, but it was, we took it really easy this morning because it was steep. You can see some low-hanging clouds right above us. So we're not far, probably a couple hundred feet from the top of this mountain. Ooh, a little rocky there. Yeah, so this is a different look. We haven't been riding in the clouds. Yeah, I'm sure it's again because of that rain and some kind of storm system must be in here. Man, this is rocky. Just beat you to death. All right, if we get up into the clouds, I'll record a little bit more. Man, this is rocky. I don't know if we've crested this. Oh, it looks like we're going up a little bit further, but as far as I'm concerned, we are in the clouds now, because if I look straight out, I can see plenty of cloud. So visibility's, you know, fine for the trail, but it's relatively low. So we're up in the clouds, which is cool. That hadn't happened to us on either the Washington or the Idaho so far, so that's neat. Now we got some great lookout that we won't be able to look out on. Okay, so this pass is at 8,600 feet. And I believe it's the highest point on the Idaho BDR. This is probably the highest point we've been on this entire trip. So I guess that's why we're in the clouds. Almost looks like a fire over there, but it's just clouds. I'll keep, you can see in the distance. Pretty cool. Nice. It's 51 degrees. Couldn't ask for a better day for riding. Maybe a little hard to tell, but back there was pretty muddy. I hate to call it mud, but really it was the silt that had gotten wet, which is better than dry silt, but and of course as soon as I turn this on it dries out, but sliding all over the place. Well, it looks like we just crested another mountain and starting to head down. We've been descending for a long time. Again, that was either 8641 or 8541 feet that we're coming from. We've been descending for a long time, and we're still way, I mean, you can see by looking out there what kind of elevation I'm still at. So Warren really must have been, I need to check and see what the elevation of Warren is, because it must have been way on up there for us, no more than we climbed to be at 8,600 feet. Well, this is a heck of a switchback. So not long after that last little clip, we got down to this flat area here. Guy with a nice nice log cabin back there. This moment, this looks straight and flat for a while. Even the quote-unquote boring sections from a riding standpoint are good from a scenic standpoint. So it's pretty much good the whole time. Riding beside the stream, I think you can see right there. Still descending, but there's more traffic. Still descending, but at a fairly even level. Those are the kind of corners that scare you to death, because a Jeep coming around that corner, cutting the corner a little bit, and you will be in trouble. I think the way this 2 weeks was laid out, we took a rest day on Sunday last week, because just to make sure we were on the trail when there were not as many people out. For a second, take a little break. That first sign I saw for Yellow Pine said 49. The sign right there on the other side says 5. So we've gone 44 miles. Well, we've gone farther than that, probably pushing 50 miles, something like that. Here's the stream that we've been riding along. Anyway, so we're going to take a stop in Yellow Pine too. We just took a stop here because it opened up and it was a good spot. A lot of traffic. Yeah, so back where we stopped between that last video clip and this one, I bet we've passed 6 vehicles. So a lot of traffic. Saw some campers back there, so we're going to take it real easy this next 5 miles into Yellow Pine and get something to drink there, get some gas. There's another one. So yep, going to have to take it really easy, because you don't ever know. You know, it's one thing for me to stay on my side of the road, obviously something else for other people to stay on their side. They thinking the same thing I am, which is nobody's out here, and that's just not true, especially on this road. Cool place though. Still along that same river down there, but got to this real rocky area and thought I'd give you a look at that. More traffic. Personally, I'd rather be on the inside than the outside. Oh, that's awesome down there. Wow. I didn't realize I was climbing that fast and it was falling that fast. Yeah, this is, oh, there's a campground of some sort down there, so part of the reason for all the traffic, but wow. Just vehicle after vehicle after vehicle. Told that the town of Yellow Pine is having a harmonica festival. So I didn't realize there were that many harmonica fans around. You can tell by the number of porta potties how many people they expect, but the harmonica aficionados are out en masse, and it appears they like four-wheelers and ATVs. So now we're trying to figure out how to get around, but never. That's why they call it adventure biking. Never thought I'd see the day that I attended a harmonica festival. We have been given permission to slide through gently the harmonica festival. We're going to try to get some gas. There's some bikers right there. In fact, that may be some of our group. Maybe not. Oh yeah, it is. So apparently, oh, there's the harmonica festival right there. I don't hear anybody playing. I see a lot of people eating, so good for them. But Yellow Pine. Howdy. If you want to see what $9 a gallon gas looks like, you looking at it right there. Fortunately, I got enough to go to the next stop. Obviously, I'm not trying to save money, but I'm not trying to burn it either. Throw it away. $9 a gallon, and that's your gas station in the city of Pine City, or Yellow Pine. There you go, Yellow Pine. $9 a gallon. Leaving the harmonica festival. Obviously, a lot of people here. A lot of camping going on. This is something else. You know, we were there for probably an hour, didn't hear or see one harmonica. Saw lots of four-wheelers, saw lots of, I'll call them hippie types, which is fine. Anyway, that's old school. Wow. We've been riding beside this stream. We're going out of Yellow Pine. The stream's going into Yellow Pine. Oh, for 5 miles or so, going 50 miles an hour or so. Moving along pretty good. It's just a standard dirt and gravel road, but the main thing is, and I know I've said it 100 times, there's a fair amount of traffic out here. Everybody wants to go to the harmonica festival, I guess. But it's a pretty drive. We just crossed a bridge over that river we've been following, and obviously on paved. Well, it wasn't paved very long, but maybe it won't be too long till we're going to start climbing this mountain, although there was a sign back there that said 25 miles of this, so we may have still quite a ways to go. Obviously the dust is starting to kick up, partly because we're going faster, and it doesn't look like it rained in Yellow Pine. Well, hit asphalt for about 200 yards. I thought we were going to be on it for a while, and pavement ends, which is good. Again, we've been doing this now for little silt. We've been doing this now for at least 20 miles, something like that. So not sure when this will end. Again, there's supposed to be a water crossing. We've got about I think about 80 miles to go. There's supposed to be a water crossing up here at some point today. So I'll obviously make sure and film that when we get to it. Okay, we haven't seen many prairies or meadows, I guess, meadows like this. This is probably, this stretch here from Yellow Pine has probably been the most boring and least scenically attractive of the entire trip. It's not a complaint, it's just a statement of what I would consider to be fact. The road is a little silty, so we're sliding around a little bit, you know, going anywhere from 40 to 50, depending on how straight the road is and the silt. But this is the same stretch that we've been on. We just got away from that stream and got to this meadow here, so. But it's a different view than we've had, so looks like they've been doing some clear cutting, where they had a fire up there a long time ago. 2 minutes after that last video clip about it being boring and all that stuff, we came into this area here. We've probably been riding down this road 5, 6, 7 minutes now. It's not like this is the most beautiful area we've seen either, but it's a change, and I wanted to show it to you. Again, we probably stayed on that, out of Yellow Pine, we probably stayed on that road for 30 miles of just kind of flat gravel road with a, you know, a fair amount of traffic on it. We just passed 2 overlanders just 1 minute ago on this downhill here, so there's still traffic around. Now we're on switchbacks with this same sand. So again, we're going to be taking it pretty easy. That stuff's slick. And we actually passed a van and a truck way back there, and when we stopped for our break, they passed us within 3 or 4 minutes. And usually, you know, we leave, you know, a regular vehicle way behind, but because of the sand, you know, they could just motor right through it, and we were taking it easy. So we're still in the sand doing switchbacks. Most of the views are blocked by the trees. Sand's not as built up or as bad here, but we're still going pretty slow because you don't always know, you know, when there's going to be a pile of it. So 78 degrees. It actually feels a little warm, partly because we had such cool temperatures this morning. Certainly not 111 like we had in Washington. Whoop. There's a rider. That's why you stay right. There have been quite a few single riders that we've seen. Most of them are not riding, like I said earlier, they're not riding that hard. You know, that guy was sitting down and just cruising along. Guess there's nothing wrong with that. We're a little farther down the road. We're still doing switchbacks on sand. This day, I mean, that's a beautiful view right there, but this day still has my vote for least enjoyable from a riding and from a beauty standpoint. There's been obviously some pretty things we've seen, and this is, you know, by most standards, what we're doing right now is beautiful. It's just we've seen a lot better, and this road is just really sandy, so we're taking it going about, you know, anywhere from 25 to 30 miles an hour. Picking up a little bit, but it's straight here. It's just very, very slick. Still doing the same thing, but there was some kind of neat rocky outcroppings here, and so I thought I'd turn it on for a second. You see that huge rock face there? A bunch of them. Yeah, it's pretty neat. You know, again, it's an absolutely gorgeous view. It's just not up to the standard. I'm not trying to be negative here. It's just not quite up to the standard of what we've come used to. The sand isn't so bad as long as you stay in your lane. It's you get in the middle and it's kind of piled up from the, if you can see right here, it's kind of piled up from the four-wheel drive vehicles. As long as, at least here, as long as you stay in one lane or the other, then it's then the sand's not so bad. There's been a couple times when front tires wavered on me. Try to get away from me. Anyway, we've been doing this for probably 30 minutes. It's okay, but it's at a minimum repetitive. Alright, same road on the downhill side. Man, you can just see forever. Unfortunately, all these trees have been burned in front of us, but it does give you an awesome view. I don't know if we're braking or just making sure we're all together. But it's hopefully you can see through the trees. Man, you can see a long way. Good view of the roads we're going to there and there. So we're going to follow this ridge line, curve down there. So anyway, I assume way off over there too. I don't think we have much left to do. Again, supposedly the water crossing. We got the intel, and he kind of walking it through. That's one way to do it. Killed it. It's rocky. Rocky in the middle. Okay, they got it stood up. There's just some big rocks in there. Okay, now my turn. That was something else. Obviously wasn't supposed to stop, but at least I stayed up, so I'll take it. Okay, we're descending from where we did the little water crossing there. This is a really technical section. Not that we haven't had other technical sections, but I mean, we're going, you know, 10, 15. I mean, it's just tight turn after tight turn. The sand is still there. It's not as bad as it was earlier. You obviously saw we caught up with the other guys, and they said when they were riding on that sand, we were going about 40. They said we were going like 25 or something. I think they had a couple of crashes in it, because I mean, again, it's just unpredictable. I mean, they're dramatically better riders than I am, but it's just, you just are, it's, to a degree, it's luck. It's partly also, you know, how fast you're going or whatever, so they might have been going faster at the beginning, but they slowed down after the couple of falls they had. After the water crossing, we saw a sign that said Lowman 16 miles, and I believe that's the longest 16 miles of my life. It was switchback after switchback after switchback. We were going 10, 11, 8, 15 miles an hour. But a couple miles and we're pulling into Lowman.